Hello all my beautiful sisters from those other misters, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my January beauty recap. So this is a series of videos that I do once a month that recaps beauty products that were prominent in my life in the previous month. Not necessarily favorites or fails. Sometimes I just talk about stuff because I'm like, this is a thing that I used a lot. But there are also favorites and fails in these videos. I'm going to start with something that just shocked me, totally shocked me in January. This is the Inhibitive Hair-Free Body Serum. So I put this in my project pan because I've had it sitting around for way too fucking long and I was never using it, and I was like, I would like to use this. I want to give myself a reason to use it so that I can be held accountable in my video. You guys can see how much of the product I'm using each month, and I want to give it a go and finish it up. Now, I shave my legs. I wish that I could be a person who waxes my legs, but I can't do the regrowth thing. That just annoys me. And the whole shaving thing annoys me as well, which I'm sure many of you can relate to. It's sometimes really, really annoying. So a product like this really interests me. I want to know, does it work? So put it in my project pan and I was using it. Essentially what you are supposed to do with this product is apply it evenly on shaved or waxed body areas twice a day for 2 months or until body hair appears nearly invisible. Reduce application to once every other day to maintain results. So with this product, it's called Hair-Free Body Serum, but the description says use until body hair appears nearly invisible. So I don't really know what that means. If it said until body hair is gone, fine. I would, you've got a really good idea of what it means. But it's a little bit confusing because it's got hair-free body serum, but then use it until hair appears nearly invisible. So anyway, I used it. And I was thinking, I'm never going to use this twice a day. I'm not that person. I am lazy. That's the person that I am. But I found myself actually managing to reach for it twice a day every now and then. And then I noticed that the day after I'd shaved my legs, they weren't as spiky. I'm someone who has leg hair that grows quite quickly, and the day after shaving I'm all stubble and spikiness, but my hair is feeling smoother on day 2. So then I started really trying to use it twice a day every day, and I felt like I wasn't needing to shave my legs as often, and I would have some spots on my skin that would stay smooth for days, like patches of smooth skin. So I was a bit like, very interesting. Then I went to Bali. I didn't take it to Bali because I was trying to pack light, and this is quite a big bottle. And I can tell you I missed it. I missed it a lot in Bali. I was shaving my legs every day while I was in Bali because, I'm by the pool and you want to be nice and hair-free. And my hair was starting to grow annoyingly the same way that it had before I was using this. So I get home and I'm straight back into it. And I think this actually works. I have only been using it, I used it for 2 weeks pretty regularly. Then I had a week off and then I was back and used it for I don't know, a little over a week when I'm filming this. And I am again getting back into the, I think my hair is not growing as quickly again, which is great. But I'm so excited to see where this goes. I'm so excited. I think my issue with this product, and I do have an issue with it, is that it's in a spray bottle. And I've got little hands, okay? And yes, I can you know, hold it and do the spraying. But the problem is when you're like trying to spray the back of your legs and you're like turning it upside down, it's just, it's annoying. It's really, really annoying. So I spray it into my hand, a little pool of it, and then I rub it on my legs. When I was like thinking, oh, I think this might be starting to work, I was looking into other like hair growth minimizing products, and I'd heard of a shaving foam that is available in the US that is supposed to do the same thing, and you can't get it here. There was one retailer, but they were selling them for nearly $40 a can, and I was like, please, I am not that desperate to minimize my leg hair growth. But then I found, and this didn't actually come up in my search results, I had to actively go to the Inhibitive website, and I saw that they actually have a body moisturizer that is meant to do the same thing. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta get me some of that. But it's sold out. It's out of stock. So I put myself down on the like mailing list to be notified when it comes in, because I want to try that stuff. And I really hope it comes in stock before I finish this bottle, because I'm intrigued. This is great. If you've used this product and had good results, let me know. Let me know. If you are in Australia and you buy other hair growth slowing things for the body, let me know what they are, what brand they are, where you buy them from, because I was having a lot of difficulty finding any that actually sell in Australia. There are quite a few that you can buy from overseas, but finding retailers that will ship them to you at a reasonable price was quite difficult. So there's that. But yeah, if you tried any at all, even if I can't get them here in Australia, let me know, because that is very exciting for me, and I think it's a little bit life-changing. Okay, I want to talk about something. Actually, let's talk about this, because this is sort of on the same page as this. Okay, so this is the Chic F.A.B. So it's forward and backwards, and it's a razor that you can use forward and backwards. So let's have a look at this. So on top you've got 3 razors, and on the bottom you've got 2 razors, and the razors go in different directions. So 3 of the razors are facing down like this. So when you shave up your leg like this, you get a 3-blade shave, and the 2 on the bottom are going up like this. So when you go down, you're getting a 2-shade blade. What? A 2-blade shave. Far out. My brain just imploded. Anyway, these were given to us when we went to the Priceline Beauty Prescription Live. So essentially what that is an event where you get to go around to retailers of products in Priceline, and they show you the new products that they will be launching in Priceline in the coming months. And this was a product from Chic, from the Intuition range. So I was pretty excited about this because, like I said before, shaving is annoying. So I was like, look, anything that cuts down the time of shaving, I'm so down for it. So I first used this on my armpits, and I can tell you it took some getting used to, because, you know, I'm like, shave up, and then I turn it around, I'm like, wait, no, we don't have to do that. So I'm like, shave up, and then shave down, and I really had to like concentrate and I'm like, this is very strange, but it worked really, really well. I was like, this has such potential. Then I used it on my legs, and okay, it was almost like shaving my legs when I was 14. It was terrible. It was a terrible shave. I had patches and stubbly bits and long hairs, and like it was not good. And I think the reason is because when you shave your legs, it's recommended that you shave against the grain of hair only, and this gives you a closer shave because the little blades can pick up the hairs and cut them right at the skin, and it makes it, you know, nice and smooth. But when you're using a downward motion, you are just shaving off the hair. You end up with a result where you're smooth on the way down, but if you bring your hand up your leg, you can feel all of the little stubbly bits. And even if you, like, if you go down and then you go back over that spot going up, it's still not, you never get quite as close a shave. So for me, this has not seen my legs ever since that first experience. I was like, it's no good. It's no good for legs, but for the armpits, I actually really like it. I have become very accustomed to doing like a just up and down shave with this razor, and when I went to Bali and I just used, like, I took my standard chic razor, it's a men's one, I found myself doing that and I'm like, wait, you're an idiot, that's not going to work. You have to shave your armpits like a normal person with a normal razor. So I definitely think these have a place. I think it's an interesting product, but for the legs, it's not great. I'm going to continue using it for my underarms. I think when I'm done with the refills, it's probably not something that I would repurchase because I can just use the one razor and refills for all of the jobs. But I think if you are, like, if you've seen it in store and you're curious about it, I think it's potentially worth giving it a go. I don't know if, look, I haven't bought a women's razor in probably like 15 years. There we go. So I don't know if these like refills will fit on any Chic Intuition handle. I don't know, but the one on this, hang on, I'll show you what it looks like. So the one on this is just like a thin thing with a, where is it? Like a, one of these. So I don't know, if all of the Chic handles look like that, then the refill will fit on any. Oh, I've just remembered, I've actually got another like tool. This is not related to hair shaving, but since we're talking about tools, I want to talk about this. So this is the Scholl like foot file in shower thing. I've had this for years. These have been out for years, and I've had mine actually sitting in my drawer for years. But I pulled it out after I went to Bali because I was wearing thongs every single day, and I'm talking about thongs on the feet, so flip-flops, for anyone who doesn't call them thongs. And my feet were really, like, they were not happy. They were just not happy. And I was having difficulty with like dry skin and stuff, and I'm like, I need a pedicure, but I'm not gonna go and get a pedicure. I'm lazy. And I saw this in my drawer and I was like, oh, let's give it a go. So I pulled it out. This one can go in the shower. It is waterproof. So took it in the shower, did all of my body stuff, letting the skin on my feet soften up in the hot water, and then I ran this over my feet in the shower right before I got out, and oh my god, why did I ever leave you in a drawer? These are better used after a shower. So have a shower, soak your feet, or soak your feet in the bath or whatever, and then use this, just gently run it over your feet. Better than those foot peeling masks. Now those foot peeling masks can be very, very satisfying if you're a weirdo like me. I find them quite intriguing. But this is so much more effective and so much quicker, and the results are instant. And I'm kind of annoyed at myself that I forgot that I had this and I didn't use it for years. It's fantastic. I'm going to keep this in my bathroom in sight so I don't forget about it, and I'm going to continue to use it. All right, next thing I want to talk about is more tools. These are makeup tools though. It's Quartz Beauty. So Quartz Beauty is my friend Crystal Conti's brand, which she launched at the end of last year, and I did a full-on like in-depth review and like demo of all of these brushes. It wasn't meant to be that long, but once I started using the brushes, I was like, interesting, and I was like talking about the shapes and the cuts and the bristles and all that stuff, and before I knew it, I literally had a feature-length film review of these brushes. So if you feel like watching a feature-length review of makeup brushes, I'll link it down below and up here for you. So anyway, these brushes have been great this month, and mine are all dirty because I've been using them. This is a big brush set. There's like 20, I think there was 21 brushes in this brush set, right? And it's like full face and eye, and there's like brushes in there that people might not think that they would use. For me, one that like really stood out was a face sculpting brush. So this is sort of like a, you can see it's a thin sculpting brush, and I've used these before. I've used them from lots of different brands and never enjoyed them. Always found them more hassle than they were worth, but this one I loved. It contoured my face, sculpted my face so beautifully. Like, really, really surprised. The thing about this set is it looks quite big. And you might look at some of the brushes and think, oh, I don't need that, won't use it. And that's fair. I'm sure there's going to be people out there who would buy the set and find that there are brushes that they're not using. But all of the brushes are functional for their job, and they do the job really well, which is what made this really stand out to me as a great little set of brushes, or a great big set of brushes. Often, you know, there's been quite a few brush sets that I've purchased that all of the brushes seem like they might be useful, but then you end up using like 4 or 5 out of a 10-piece brush set, because some brushes are just crap. It's almost like they've put them in there to get rid of them, along with like a couple of good, really functional brushes. But these, look, I was really surprised, not because I expected them to be bad quality or anything like that, but more because I expected a large brush set like this to have brushes in it that I wouldn't actively want to reach for, but looking through them, I'm like, oh, that's right, that was a great brush. Oh yes, love this blender, that was a great little brush. So you, or I, look at this set and I go, they're all usable and they're all functional for me. So I really liked it. Great sets. Well done, Crystal. There was a thing that happened at the start of January where Sephora was having their like New Year sales, I suppose, or like end of year sales or whatever. Maybe it was even at the end of December. When, I don't know. Who cares? Sephora was having a sale, right? And they had like 50% off like select items with a code, and it turned out that the code actually worked store-wide for a few hours, and it was brought to our attention that this was a thing that was happening. And I wake up in the morning and I've got a missed call from Kat. I've got messages from Kat on Messenger and text messages. We don't call or text each other unless like it's important and we need to talk to that person at that particular time. Otherwise, we just send messages on Messenger, and like we talk when we both have time to talk. Anyway, I knew something was up, so I think I tried to call Kat back and she didn't answer, so I messaged her, and anyway, she clued me in on what was going on. She's like, oh my god, sale. Do you want Pat McGrath palettes? And I'm like, sure, why not? So she made an order with, hang on, let me get it, 2 large Pat McGrath palettes, 2 Mothership palettes. So I got, what's this one? Mothership. It just says Mothership. This is this is something that really annoys me about Pat McGrath. This is in Australia. This retails for like $190. And if you don't keep the box, who fucking knows? If you don't keep the box, you don't even know what palette it is. But this is a Pat McGrath palette, and it looks like this. So if you know what that one is, that's a thing. Then there was also the Mothership 1 Subliminal palette. There we go. So that one. So Kat ordered those, and while she was ordering those, I was actually throwing in some of the small palettes into my cart because I was like, I really want to try some of these as well. Some of the color stories really, I think, are quite pretty, and at 50% off, I'm down for it. And Kat was like, get me some too. So I got her the same palettes that I have here. And while we were doing this, we're like, oh, I wonder if they'll ship, because this had actually happened before on Sephora, the Australian website, and they actually cancelled orders. But this time they went through, so there's that. So I got the Bronze Ambition, which is, oh, and man, like the packaging of these little palettes is sick, because it's like, that's it. Like, that's the packaging. They're so freaking cute. I really like the packaging of these little ones. They're just gorgeous. So Bronze Ambition, I think it was. Then I have the Platinum Bronze. So more bronze, not mad. This is more cool toned. I'm loving like nude eyeshadows at the moment. I've also got the Lovey and Rose. This was a pink and purple. Yeah, there we go. And then there was Bronze Temptation. Oh, that green and that red. So there were, I think there were 2 others on the website in this range that we both decided that we didn't want. Like, the color story just wasn't, you know, we weren't into it, and we're already spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on palettes. And yeah, I mean, we both had 6 new Pat McGrath palettes come into our collection in the space of one day. So it was kind of like we do have some self-control, not a lot, but some. So yeah, I purchased 6 new Pat McGrath palettes, and I used this today, whatever, I don't know what this palette's called, and I don't think I kept the box. Oh no, there it is. Okay, so this is the Sublime palette, Mothership 2 Sublime. So I used this today, and I also put it in my project pan to play with it for like a month. I used this shade, and this shade, and I can say that the matte was really nice. I really, really liked the matte shade, but these two, I mean, it looks nice. I put it on wet. I put the gold one on wet because otherwise it just looked like, why the fuck was I even bothering? So it wasn't really a difficult decision to like spend the money on them. Being 50% off, I was like, now is the only time to buy Pat McGrath eyeshadow palettes, in my personal opinion. I would never ever pay full price for another Pat McGrath palette, but I did want to try more of her palettes. I wanted to try at least one more big palette, and I wanted to try a small palette, and since they were 50% off and so much was in stock, I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it. So I did it, and I have only used one of the palettes once, and I've had them for almost a month. So there's that. Last thing, actually not last thing, second last product. We went to Bali in January, which many of you will know, Kat, myself and Simon. And while we were at Melbourne Airport, before we were gonna takeoff. We were looking through duty free, and I purchased 2 perfumes for myself. One was, wait, I'll get the one. One was a Dolce & Gabbana. This is a light blue Italian zest. It's beautiful. It smells amazing. And I didn't want to include that in this video because it's not the one that really stood out to me. And I'm actually going to start a new series, a monthly series, where I talk about things that I purchased in a month and why I purchased them, and sort of like a spin-off to a low buy or no buy, but not really. Look, the video will be out soon and I'll try and explain my reasoning for doing it in that video. But anyway, perfume. There was one that I purchased that it's amazing! It's this! This is another Dolce & Gabbana. This is 3 L'Imperatrice? Anyway, it's this. It looks like this. Let's turn the ISO down so you can see it. There we go. Okay, so this is one that I picked up at Melbourne Airport, and I went for this one because it kind of, I don't even know what it smells like. It smells like a fruit. It's kind of like a little bit like watermelon, or like some sort of like fresh melony scent, with like a zestiness and also sweetness. And oh my god, I fucking love it. I love it. It is just amazing. I had the lady at the airport spray it on me, and I was covered in like perfume, like scent samples to like pick some out, and she sprayed this one up here, and it's quite a strong fragrance, and I was concerned that it was going to give me a headache. So I'm like walking around and, you know, smelling this thing, and it didn't give me a headache. It didn't make me feel sick. Every time I took in a breath and I could smell it, I was just like, oh my god, I fucking love that scent. So I purchased it, and no regrets. I adore it. This is like probably my favorite scent in my collection at the moment. That often changes. It changes a lot with the season, but for a summery scent, this is so me, and I love you, my new baby. I love it. Okay, so that's all of my products. I feel like this video and the products that I featured were like all over the place, but kind of what January has been like for me. I also want to talk about going to Bali. It was, look, it had its pros and its cons, and I got really sick when I came home. I'm still struggling with it a little bit. I'd been home just a couple of days, and I was actually filming with Kat, and I started to sneeze, and I just like kept sneezing and sneezing and sneezing, and sometimes that's not unusual for me. It happens to me a lot when I'm really tired and I need to go to sleep. I don't know what that's about. I didn't feel really tired when I was having this sneezing attack, but it went on for quite a while, and when I got home that night, I started to get a sore throat, and it was sort of like, you know when you get a sore throat and it feels like it's in between like the top of your nasal passage and like the beginning of your throat? It was in there, and I'm like, I'm gonna get sick, can't I, you fucking bastards. And I did. I got sick, and it came on really quickly, and there were points where like I couldn't breathe properly, and it was terrible. It was just a head cold, but I was really blocked up, and then like I developed a cough that was just unforgiving. So that sort of put a damper on my feelings about Bali, because the trip home was quite tedious. We were delayed at the airport in Bali. They didn't even tell us. We just found out because we didn't fucking board the plane. Then they wouldn't let us off the plane straight away because there was someone sick on that plane. When we got into Melbourne, and getting through customs and all that stuff was just a nightmare. We were supposed to get in quite early on the Monday morning, and we got in a few hours later, and I was just like, we would have missed all of the bodies if we'd just gotten in earlier. So that it really pissed me off. It frustrated me, and then I got sick, and I was just like, fuck Bali, fuck Jetstar, fuck you all. But now that I'm getting better and I look back on the trip, it was great. We sat around the pool and drank and chat all day for days. We also went on some day tours and stuff, which was really nice. I think the best part was just the really chill times with Kat and Simon by the pool, drinking bintang and hanging out and stuff. That was really, really nice. Low stress, no problems in the world. It was really nice. But yeah, Bali, look, I feel like Bali hasn't changed much. It's just got a little bit more expensive when it comes to tourist related stuff. Look, Bali, it was good because I think Kat and I, we both needed the break. Great to have Simon there. Simon probably needed the break as well. So, no regrets. So that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave your comments below about anything that you saw in this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.